I'm alive like Jimmy Carter. Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to the College Football Prediction Show, Week 6 already. Brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposits all the way up to $1,000. If you're a day one homie out there, guess what? They got bonuses for you too. Bobby, what do we got? What's MyBookie doing for the people at home?
You get a bunch of bonuses for just money spent and bets made and stuff like that. So you get deposit points, and you get points for play. You get like 1 point per dollar bet on like a straight bet. So like if you take first game of the week, right? You take Oregon minus 24. You bet $50. You get 50 points. Parlays, it's 3-1 in the MyBookie plus points reward system. I put it all in the Facebook group.
Awesome, man.
So you can check it out there.
So I saw my account growing. I thought it was because I only missed one college game last week, but then I remembered I had a bad week in the NFL. So it is what it is. I made up for it at the end of the week. All right. You know the rules, kids. Going over last week's hits and misses, only one, and then we'll give you the predictions for this week. Also, we'll be live on Drinkin' Bros Podcast YouTube in an hour and a half, roughly 7:45 before the debates. And we'll have Tim Walls and JD Vance duke it out live in front of you guys over there. But in the meantime, we thought we'd go live with college football. We'll start off with Miami, Virginia Tech. Did you watch that game on Friday night?
No, I didn't. I was working.
Great game.
Yeah.
Great game.
Cam Ward, he's good.
He's good, but Virginia Tech won this game. I don't know really what to think of Miami now, if they can actually pull it off, because Virginia Tech is not a very good football team at all. And I don't know if this is just a lapse or whatever. Cam Ward put up great numbers. But you're starting to get to that point in the season where I don't know how much longer he'll be able to do it all on his own without help like this. But yeah, that fucking call was bullshit. So if you're a Hokie fan out there, I'm with you. One arm on the catch, one arm for the defense.
That's just a fucking...
Goes to the receiver.
Yeah, that's just the ACC saying, no.
This is rigged.
We're not doing that.
This is rigged.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. I saw some comment. Juan, I love you out there. If Juan Navarez is watching, I love you. He goes, hey, dude, I love you, but you got this wrong. Miami's a villain, and people hate him because they're the villains. No, it was just a catch, and let's face it, they're not winning a natty this year anyways. Who cares? Next up was Texas, Mississippi State. I just came back from the field with my kid about 2 minutes ago. It's still 180 degrees here. How these dudes are able to do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Texas should demand mandatory night games until November. If I'm home,
it's too hot. Yeah,
it's too hot, dude. They look great. Arch Manning looked great. Texas continues to roll over there. Game of the week, Georgia, Alabama. Wasn't much of a game up until halftime. Had it on in the background. Didn't turn it off, but I was this close. If I didn't have some late night work to do, I would have turned this game off at halftime. It was 30-7 there. And then Georgia decided to score 19 in the fourth quarter. Actually pulled ahead, and then Bama came back. But what I love is not a lot of defense in the SEC this year. Unless you're Texas. I think this game is very good news for Texas, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Texas in the SEC, both sides of the ball, looks like the most complete team in the SEC thus far. We'll see what happens with
I don't know.
Quinn Ewers or Arch Manning.
I think Alabama's defense looked pretty good.
In the first half.
Yeah. I think it looked pretty good when they tried to play defense, and then they didn't in the second. And we'll see when they get into these more tough games. Maybe that's a wake-up call for them. Like, hey, you got to play the full game. Now, the unfortunate part, I guess if you want to consider it unfortunate, because it probably really isn't, because they're not going to play anybody as good as Georgia any other time this season, is that they're going to get away with that, right? Like Tennessee, they play at Tennessee soon. Tennessee's number 4 in the nation right now. Alabama's going to beat them by 2 touchdowns, right? We've seen both of these teams play. It's Heupel. They're going to get their fucking shit pushed in. So I don't know if they're going to fucking really learn that lesson. Maybe, hopefully they do, because they're going to play Georgia again in the SEC championship game, probably, I think.
I'm torn on this, man.
Unless Texas wins out, which is very possible too.
Yeah, because Texas has Georgia at home. If they win that game, that means Georgia's out.
Yeah, I kind of think Georgia's going to beat Texas just because that's how fucking life works. You know what I mean? Like and it's no shade on Texas. I agree with you. I think Texas is the most complete team
in the SEC.
In the SEC, and they're big on both sides of the line. Mm-hmm. That's huge. That might be the most important thing in college football these days. But man, Alabama's electric. Alabama's electric in a way that Texas isn't. And then Georgia is Kirby Smart, right? I know it's on the road. That's a tough game. Georgia's built pretty well too. I just think the law of averages, something weird's going to happen. Nothing weird's happened yet, really, right? Something weird's going to happen, and I kind of think that might be it, is Texas losing at home. Just because, and maybe it's just wishful thinking because I like chaos, but a 1-loss, Georgia and Texas, and then Alabama. Who goes to the fucking SEC championship then?
I don't know. I mean, let's pull up this.
What are the fucking tiebreakers for that, Bob?
Here. Yeah.
So if Georgia goes to Texas and beats them, it'll be them.
SEC standings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if Georgia and Texas both have one SEC loss.
Yeah, then it goes to tiebreakers.
Right. It'll go to tiebreakers, but Georgia's loss would have been against Alabama, and Texas's would have been against Georgia, so they would have the edge there, right?
So if Georgia beats Texas, Alabama beats Georgia, and then Alabama, if Alabama goes undefeated, they're in, and then Georgia would be in over Texas. If all three have one loss, and it's not to each other, which it can't be at this point.
Yeah,
because Bama wouldn't.
I mean, there's no way.
Texas,
Bama's not losing to fucking I don't think they're losing it to anybody, honestly. But
I don't know how the tiebreaker would work actually, because there's no divisions anymore. If say Bama lost to Tennessee and there's 3 1-loss teams,
because it's just top 2 now, right? This year, and moving forward,
it's just total top 2.
So that's like I don't know. It's some. Kirby Smart is such a good coach, it's hard to bet against him. He's already lost 1 game. When's the last time Kirby Smart lost 2 games in the season? That was the first regular season loss in 4 years.
Well, he loses to Alabama all the time. So he's 1-6.
That's always the only one, though, right? That's always he's 1-6 against Alabama. It's the only team he ever loses to in the regular season.
He hasn't had 2 regular season losses in like a decade, probably.
This shit just works itself out. We don't have to worry about it.
It usually does.
No, it does.
It usually does. But this is we're describing what is a complicated situation because of the statistical history of all this stuff that's going on right now. Georgia doesn't lose much in the regular season. Texas is good, no question about that. They're one of the best teams in the country, but there's a good chance Georgia beats them.
But
now it's a fucking situation because I think Texas is the number 2 team in the country. I think Ohio State, Texas, Alabama. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Alabama schedule. They still have Tennessee at Tennessee, which is probably going to be a night game. They lost last time.
They are good. I know they did, but this is a different team. They didn't have any receivers before. Now Alabama's got they are electric on offense. They got a 17-year-old doing shit. There's only 2 receivers doing anything like that. A 17-year-old and a fucking 18-year-old now.
Yeah,
in college football.
I'm telling you right now, don't write them off. You got to equate Texas A&M into this. Even though they lost to Notre Dame, they don't have a conference loss. Their schedule's really easy.
I know.
They get past Mizzou this week.
Well, here's the thing. We'll get to that because for Bama, they got Tennessee, they got Missouri.
That game scares me, even though it's in Tuscaloosa, that Missouri game scares me more than that at Tennessee game.
And then they got at LSU.
That's bullshit.
Mercer's really tough. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
And then
Oklahoma's bullshit too.
At Oklahoma, and then Auburn is the Iron Bowl.
At LSU could be an old school Pac-12 game if they fuck around and don't play defense. Alabama.
I think LSU's still soft.
They're soft on defense, no question about that.
Auburn is Auburn.
Yeah,
like
Auburn
is the Iron Bowl though. Like it just doesn't matter.
And they should have won last year. If Homeboy doesn't complete that miracle, what is it, 4th and 30?
Yeah.
They're not even in the playoffs. Like, it's over.
Delco's right, though. Usually this stuff just works itself out. It will. In my brain, intellectually, I look at these teams playing, and I know that Texas is probably the 2nd or maybe 3rd best team in the country. And if they lose this 1 game to Georgia, then they're going to be out of the SEC championship, which might actually be a good thing for them because it's a 12-team playoff. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
And then they don't have to play that extra game. Who cares? Who gives a fuck who wins the SEC? If you're the 4 seed and you get to skip that shit and then go right into the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you won't get a bye if you don't win the conference.
You won't get a bye, but you don't play that week of the SEC championship.
Yeah, I guess you get a different bye.
Yeah.
You get a different bye, and then you could kind of plan for the rest because that first game, even if they're outside of it, will be a home game, and it'll be a weak opponent.
Yeah.
So they'll breeze through them.
It'll be 4.
And it's a nice tune-up for whoever that is.
Wait, who does 4 play? 11?
5 will play 12.
I'm thinking goddamn football. No.
4 won't play week 1.
Yeah, 4 doesn't play week 1. So they would get a.
Yeah, 5 will play 12. 6 will play 11.
So who would 4 play in the second round then? The
let me
winner, the
check.
winner of which one?
The lowest seed. So
7, 8
yeah,
or something?
Well, or if a 12 seed upset them, they
or
would
not
play
7,
12.
8. That's what am I? I'm still thinking basketball. God damn it! This is fucking me up. It's going to take me like 3 years to learn this new math.
I don't even think it's important. There's like I said last week.
I think it's a straight bracket. It's not a rearranged bracket.
Really?
I pray
They don't reseed every round.
I don't think they reseed every round.
They don't do that for college basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be the 4 seed would get the winner of 12-5. 1
Oh,
seed
wow.
would get 9-8. So it's basically a college basketball bracket, right?
Okay.
So 12-5. Where do you think the upsets are going to be? If you had to guess, I don't know if it's going to be as consistent as.
I mean,
keeps
it's not going to be a number. It's going to be, you got to look at a matchup, right? Like if Penn State.
I was going to say, I think it'll come down to weather. So if you're looking for an upset, yeah, if a Penn State gets in there, because you're going to have to play on December 20th.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's going to suck.
That's nuts.
Well, maybe this. I think it's supposed to be a mild winter, but we'll see. And future winners. But what I'm talking about is what trends do we expect to emerge over the next 10 years in a 12-team playoff? Because in basketball, 5-12 has been pretty common until recently, right? Now it's something else.
It's moving to 13-4
4.
13-4,
But
yeah.
it's,
and 11-6.
They
but-
kind of juice those numbers because they set up matchups. The committee does matchups. They know like a 12-5 is like, oh, they're going to upset them then.
Yeah, but then in college football, the difference between the 6th team and the 10th team, how big is that difference?
Exactly.
big.
So
In football, I think it's big.
I don't
Well, who's
think-
6 now?
Let me check.
Is it Oregon?
Yeah, but it's like Kentucky just beat Ole Miss like pretty handily.
Kentucky, who is unranked,
Yeah.
or was rather. I don't know if they're not ranked now, are they?
No, they're not ranked.
So 6 is Oregon and 10 is Michigan. I think Oregon would whip Michigan's ass.
Okay, so here's who ESPN is projecting right
You're going to
now.
get to find out because they're playing each other this year.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Michigan just doesn't look very good.
Who do you got, Bob?
But then again, Michigan can run the ball a little bit, and
real-
Oregon's run defense is not very good.
The real wild card this year is going to be Army
Yeah.
or
I
Navy.
want
Army or Navy.
Okay, so here's who Bill Connolly, who is I think the best one, is projecting. The buys would be Bama, Ohio State, Miami, and he thinks Iowa State's going to win the Big 12.
Oof. Do they get a bye for winning that dog shit
It's the
conference?
top 4 conference champions get a bye.
Wow.
What do you mean by top 4? You mean top 4 ranked?
Yes.
So name them again.
Alabama, Ohio State, Miami, Iowa State.
Alabama, Ohio
God,
State.
dude.
To be
Miami.
fair, there's a real possibility that the Big 12 winner has like 3 losses, and
yeah.
and
And
the
we-
Mountain West winner like UNLV.
Will they still get in at 4 then?
Yeah.
No,
not a
not
4,
but they would get
they'll
in.
they'll get jumped.
It would-
The bye will go to like the Mountain West, which is like UNLV or Boise.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? First year of the college playoffs. That's going to make some people upset.
Always bet on Boise. I'd love to
So-
see it.
Well, Boise's running back is going to run for 150 yards
Yeah,
no matter who
Genty,
they play.
do you want to catch that?
He should be in the Heisman Trophy conversation.
He is.
No, I mean,
he's very
all we're
much in
hearing
it.
is Cam Ward right now. Like,
No, we're not. Genty is like very much, I think, the front runner right now.
Yeah,
He's
I would-
averaging 10 yards a carry.
I would say Genty first, Camboard second, Milrow third
Hunter.
probably.
Hunter.
Hunter.
And then Hunter. Hunter.
So on my bookie right now, it's Cam Ward and Travis, and then Genty's way down the
Hunter's
list.
kind of rough though because he plays both sides of the ball. I don't know if that's going to be a durability issue. I don't know if he can do that all year. Like
he had trouble last year. He missed 4 games last year.
he should. It's insane. He's playing every snap.
100 snaps last game.
He's doing like Shohei Ohtani shit. It's
Yeah,
fucked
but
up.
I mean, but Shohei Ohtani shit every 5 days versus every game he plays he's doing 100 snaps. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I don't.
Like if he plays every game, he should get the Heisman. That just give it to him.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
I do too. I mean, if you're looking at the best player all the way around. There's no one else in college football who can do what he can do.
Two of the premier positions in the game, and he's elite in both. It's not like he's worse at one position.
Yeah, I agree. It just depends on who Colorado plays the rest of the year and if they falter.
There's a path.
Well, they don't really.
For Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado could win the Big 12. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, the Big 12 is kind of fucking loose, man.
I know it's terrible, but for Dion, it's great.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
The only real team is like Cam Rising and Utah. If Cam Rising ever plays,
Nah,
he's not going to play.
I think they went ahead and signed him up for AARP.
I think they shot him.
Yeah, he might
like
be.
They brought him out back and
Old
shot
Yeller.
him. Yeah.
He's at the glue factory.
Just put him
now.
down. He's what, 30 years old now?
He's 24, I think.
maybe BYU's
Jesus
legit.
Christ.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, BYU actually looks pretty good.
I think that the Big 12 is a better conference than the ACC, but the ACC's top is better.
Top two teams are better than
Yes.
the top two teams in
Like
the Big 12.
the depth of the Big 12 is quite a bit better, but they don't have anyone like Miami or Clemson.
See, again, you're discounting Pitt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And undefeated Duke.
Undefeated Duke.
Yeah, forgot about them.
I'm going to get Delco a T-shirt, Pitt and undefeated Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Just call it
with
just,
the ampersand.
No, have it say Duke Pitt.
Duke Pitt.
Well, by
yeah.
the time we get that shirt, Duke will lose.
Yeah,
Yes.
which will be this week.
So will
probably,
Pitt. Next up was Ohio State.
Easy.
yeah.
Although Michigan's
I'm telling you, I'm gonna take Michigan State this week with the points.
Same,
Their fucking
yeah.
new coach, their running back, their quarterback. Like again, it is not their fault. They went up against a fucking NFL team.
That's also a fucking massive spread.
This is going to be a team on the rise. This is a full disclosure for Hard AF Seltzer. After this game on Saturday, I reached out to Michigan State and I said, "Hey, how do we get in the stadium for next year? Because you guys are on the fucking rise. The basketball teams are already good. Every year they're fucking a powerhouse. So yeah, dude, watch out for Michigan State this week. We'll get to that game after the break, but I think they're going to be fucking good. Kentucky beat Ole Miss 20-17.
Kentucky is a pretty well coached team.
Stoops.
to be honest. Yeah, I mean, just like
Stoops,
here-
aka
here's my game plan. I'm gonna run it, keep you off the field as much as I can, and against a team that's an air raid team. That's a pretty effective strategy. Now, it's not going to work against everybody every week, but against this specific team, that's a very good
And
strategy.
look, Kentucky's next three games: Vandy, Florida, Auburn. Those are all very winnable.
yeah.
They could be
Yeah.
6-2.
They could be.
Can you imagine fucking Kentucky 6-2?
dude, Stoops was A&M's #1 target.
And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't leave.
Well, he might end up in Florida next year. Somebody's going to Florida.
Lane
That
Kiffin.
would-
Napier's
Napier's
not going to be in Florida next year, so somebody's
No,
going.
they're 1-4.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about them because they
don't-
haven't been ranked in weeks.
Nah, maybe
they
those
lost
guys.
again to SMU.
Are you guys talking about them at all on outside?
well,
I double picked that.
It's a big in-state matchup this week. It's going to be a nice little
What
agreement.
is it, FAU?
No, it's Florida.
No, it's Florida UCF.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay, shit.
Florida
we
UCF.
go to the swamp. We have an agreement. We beat Florida in the swamp. They fire Billy Napier. Everyone's
Who is
happy.
that agreement between you and somebody else, or who?
Me and my co-host, our old co-host, Jake
Oh
Coleman.
yeah, Jake. Yeah.
3 points is the spread in that game. I already looked at it already.
I don't know how we're favored.
I don't either. At the swamp?
When's the last time?
Nuts.
Well, that's never at the swamp. That's probably never happened. But when's the last time UCF's been favored over Florida at all? Maybe 2017. I don't remember. If
We beat
Florida
them
was
in a
good that
bowl
year.
game 5 years ago.
Was Florida good in 2017 when UCF was good?
Were they? It's
I
hard to
really
remember.
don't remember.
Urban Meyer's the last that I can remember them being good.
No, they had very good years under Mullen.
Mullen was good.
Yeah, like-
for 3 years.
They were bad in 2017.
He was good in years that fucking Georgia and Alabama were fucking in the SEC.
So under both Mullen and what was that dipshit's name who coached Texas or was it Texas DC for a minute? And then he coached South Carolina and got Muschamp. They made SEC championship games under both Mullen and Muschamp.
That's before Kirby was good, probably.
It was
Like his
Mullen
early
was during Kirby.
Kirby's early years though were pretty rough.
No, he was good from the start. I mean, he made the national championship game in his second year.
Yeah, but he lost. Well, to Alabama, right?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
Tua game where Tua hit the walk-off deep pass.
All right,
The-
next.
The no-lookers.
Oregon versus UCLA. I know it was at UCLA, but that doesn't matter going to LA. I thought Oregon looked kind of fucking dumb in this game. Like they should have scored 80 points against UCLA. Plays no defense at all.
I can't figure this team out in Oregon yet.
I don't know maybe if they're just figuring themselves out and didn't take this because on paper everything looks good, but they didn't do shit in the second half at all.
No, and I can't figure this team out yet. Like I thought a couple weeks ago they were putting it together. They've got speed on the outside, the receivers and all that other shit. Their run defense sucks.
They have 2 good wins.
They do, but the problem is, they got Ohio State in 2 weeks, and then you'll really find out who they are at that point.
They're going to get crushed by Ohio State.
That's what I think. But I think it's 38-24. I'll go ahead and tell you that's
what's his name?
So
Taz
fast,
Johnson. That he's fast as fuck.
They've got great talent on the outside. It's just the rest of the team is strange right now. And that NIL money for Phil Knight doesn't kick in until next year.
I don't think you're going to have a good time in Eugene. I'll say that.
You've been wrong on every college game this year, friends. So I'm not. No
That's
offense.
not true.
I cannot take your advice.
Me and
in
Rob
college.
called that Kansas State game to a T. We're like, they're going to blow the fuck out of Oklahoma State.
I don't follow Kansas State or Oklahoma State for that exact reason.
You do a show on them.
Yeah, you do.
They're
They're
ranked.
ranked.
You're
Yeah,
doing a show on them right now.
I understand
like,
it, but those aren't serious people to contend for a title.
They are, though. Kansas State's going to be like a Big 12, probably in the Big 12 championship.
You said you hated Avery, the quarterback, last week. You hated
They're
him.
figuring things out.
I think he's
48 hours later, dude. You
think
hate the
Avery's-
quarterback, and now they're figuring it out.
I said he was overrated. I didn't say I hated him.
Yeah. He's not as electric as people think, but he's going to win games.
No, he is electric. He just makes really stupid mistakes.
He's a young kid. Like most 99%. UCF would kill to have that kid as your quarterback.
Oh, yeah. I fucking hate KJ Jefferson. Are you kidding me?
I mean, dude, that's a young dude. He'll figure it out over there. It's just not this year. Next up was Illinois, Penn State. I've got Penn State in the playoffs. I think they'll lose to Ohio State. That's the only loss on this schedule for me. Penn State is in my opinion.
I think Penn State is great.
Their defense is too good.
I think their defense is great, but anytime they play a really good team, they're going to get their fucking ass handed to them.
They're frauds.
They can't score. They fucking suck on offense.
Penn State only plays two really good teams.
That's it.
this year.
Yeah, I know.
USC,
That's
they got to
it.
go to Wisconsin, though. That's going to be a weird game.
No, because they lost their quarterback.
It doesn't matter. They're going to their backup quarterback has reps now. He's going to be okay. They have to go to Madison. That'll still be weird. They'll probably squeak that out, but they're going to lose at USC. They're going to lose to Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, I think at Minnesota might get a little spooky.
No,
I don't think they're going to lose at USC.
No.
I think Ohio State's going to beat them by 30 fucking
And you
points.
just saw what Michigan's defense did to USC. Like Penn State's is better, and they're going to do the same thing.
USC outscored Michigan on offense.
Michigan sucks though, right?
They don't have an offense.
Either does Penn State.
Yeah.
Penn State has zero
but Penn
offense.
State has one of the best defenses in the country. I mean, they're really good on defense.
It's the same game. It's an identical game to Michigan.
I literally saw them get fucking torn apart by Connor Bazelak and Bowling Green in the first half. Bowling Green could have won that game.
Everybody's got a weird game per year.
Bowling Green could have beat A&M too.
I don't know if statistically it would be a smart idea to judge Penn State based on the outlier game. Every other game they've dominated on defense. So.
And they just beat the number 19 team in the country.
But again, to your point,
Illinois is not.
I mean,
good.
it wouldn't shock me if they lost at USC. I just don't think they're going to. But Ohio State's going to beat them by fucking 3 touchdowns. I mean, they're not. They can't score.
The schedule
can't score.
I will say the schedule shakes out nice. At Wisconsin, it is like tough-ish just because it's at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But
and any other year, I would fucking agree. Wisconsin is so bad this year.
You
Good
don't
God.
have to go to Washington.
Yeah,
And
then at Minnesota is another one of those games that could be weird
That's what I
in
said.
certain years, but probably not this year.
I don't know. They just gave Michigan some trouble. Like,
Yeah, but
They
I just
scored 21 in the fourth. This game was a blowout until the fourth.
Also, Michigan's bad. Closing out with out of conference Maryland. At Maryland could have been rough, but it's at home.
But
so they're
Michigan was up
probably fine
24-3 at the end of the third, and then they took their foot off the gas. Like it was raining. They didn't care at the end.
Yeah.
So
But it doesn't matter. I mean, they're going to get.
I think Penn
murdered.
State is in.
They're going to get murdered by Ohio State.
I think Penn State is in, though. I think they have one loss, and I think they end up getting in from the Big Ten. Next up, Arizona beat Utah, called that. That was pretty fucking easy. I didn't know that was Homeboy's brother, though. Is it? We confirmed that is his brother?
Yeah,
I mean, you can confirm it by looking at him.
It's just his brother. Yeah, He
Like,
was wearing the
literally
fucking
looks
same
exactly like him.
headband.
There's a lot of Wilsons in the world.
Pull up his picture, Bob.
Lot of Wilsons
I'm
out
telling you, it's the same face.
It's his brother. It is.
Oh yeah. Look, yeah.
Merman-
I'm asking because I don't
Mermans don't skip too far out of the gene pool, buddy.
know
Look
the,
at this guy.
the Utah backup quarterback. Holy shit. Yeah,
It's
that's
the same
identical.
dude.
Well, he's
Same
a
dude.
freshman. He's supposed to be their future, right? Like he's supposed to be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guy in 2 years.
He should not be
he's
playing
a
right
spitting
now.
image of his brother.
Good for him. It's just they're not going to win this year.
Or it
so.
could be his son.
Well, also
If he banged one of you.
Yeah.
one
But
of
if
the-
Cam Rising comes back,
Oh, we're not doing that.
what's wrong with
This
him? I
because
don't
that's
know
the
what's wrong
same
with him.
because that's the same shit we said last year.
We've been saying it
all
for
year.
7 years in a row now.
All year last
He's
year.
a
It's
seventh-year
if Cam
senior.
Rising comes back, we're gonna fucking see some shit,
He threw
man.
5 touchdowns in the first half of the first game, and I had a Heisman ticket on him. I'm like, all
know.
right, we're feeling good.
I want to see him play, but
It's like the fucking Kaepernick that every time a starting QB goes down, if Kaepernick wants to play again. No, dude, we're all done. Like, we're done. I love you, Cam Rising. I'm sorry. History wasn't on your side. You've been the Greg Oden of college football, dude. There's nothing you can do about it. Minnesota, Michigan, we talked about there. Michigan gave up in the fourth. It's fine. I think they're fine. How did Orgy do in this game?
Told y'all to take the over, by the way. It was 35.
Oh, Orgy sucks dick, by the way. He throws for like 6 yards a game.
That is every Michigan quarterback, dude. 10 of 18.
Yeah, give me my boy Warren. He follows me on Twitter.
10 of 18, but he runs the ball well, and not in this one. Mullings, that kid's going to be a superstar, dude. Jesus Christ. The last 3 weeks, he's been great. Pairing him up with Donovan Edwards. Michigan could sneak in there. They're at 10 this week on the schedule. We'll see what happens. A good defense will take you a long way in college football. Wisconsin got crushed by USC. Not really a shock there. Who is the new quarterback for Wisconsin? Braden Locke? Don't know who that is. But they don't have a running back or anything else either there in Wisconsin. I think they just have bad luck. I think Fickle's a good coach. Just give him time. I also don't know who else is out there if Wisconsin fans are bitching and want him to get fired. Next up, LSU beat South Alabama. That is not a D2 school. We have confirmed.
Fun Belt.
Sun Belt.
Yeah, 42-10 in that one. Next up, this was the one loss of the week by a half a fucking point. God damn it, man. Louisville, Notre Dame. They had a shot at the end there, and they just fucking choked it away.
You didn't know they were going to pull out the green jerseys.
Gross. Notre Dame is gross. Louisville's gross.
They're going to be in the fucking playoffs.
Get them out of my face, dude.
They're gonna
I know.
make it.
Look, they've got the schedule for it. I mean, if you're running through Notre Dame's schedule, actually,
Just
no.
pray for USC. If USC wins.
I actually, there could be 2 losses. Georgia Tech. I wouldn't sleep on that Georgia Tech game. The way that they're able to slow down the ball and just run, there might be 2 more losses here. USC at USC, I think they lose that.
There's no way Notre Dame's beating USC at home.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either. And also,
And Georgia Tech's the other team to look for.
And can we?
Army's on here.
Yep.
Shit.
And you're overlooking Navy as well. They got to play both Navy
That's
and
right.
Army.
They
Yes.
and-
They got
and-
4 tough games.
let's be honest here, that NIU loss is looking worse and worse. Again, NIU was ranked after beating Notre Dame because people were like, oh, maybe? They're 0-2 since beating
They
Notre Dame.
do that, though. They lost to Marshall a couple years ago.
Yeah, look, there could be 4 more losses out there for Notre Dame. Man, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? I think he's out of there after this year, too, Freeman. If they don't get in the playoffs, I think he's done. I think he's out of there. Next up, Stanford, Clemson. Clemson's starting to turn it on a little bit, sort of. I don't know. I mean, I watched this game. Klubnik, 15 for 31. He had 4 touchdowns and 250 yards.
I mean,
but it's Stanford.
Clemson's just lucky this week
I know.
because Ukulele's not playing. Because otherwise, he would have fucked them up.
Sure would have. Heisman favorite of
Should've wore-
Delco.
Should've worn
Del-
my jersey.
He's gonna win a Heisman.
He's going to win the Heisman.
I just said I thought Florida State was going to win the ACC, so I'm just going to, by default, take the quarterback.
Gross. All of it was. They're not winning the
Yeah,
ACC.
it's very wrong. Very wrong.
they're-
Don't only
outta
get
here.
a team of transfers.
This is 2 years in a row though that you've fucking tried to stand up for Ukulele. I won't have it anymore.
No. Are you
I
doing
won't
it
have
next year? Because he's going to play somewhere else.
If we
next
see,
year.
if we
was
see,
good last year.
if we see him out in public somewhere, you better punch him right in his fucking face.
Yeah.
He was good at Oregon State.
3 different teams, 3 years. Where does he go next? I think he goes to UCF.
Why not? I bet he's a Gus Malzahn. He seems like a Gus Malzahn.
Maybe he'll
type.
go to Syracuse.
No, McCord's going to.
Yeah, he and McCord
McCord's got
can-
one more year.
He and McCord could battle it out for the fucking most mediocre quarterback in
Listen,
NFL.
McCord's got one more year there, dude.
Court's slinging it right now.
Sure. Are they ranked?
All he needed to be is in a conference that doesn't exist.
Oh, Syracuse is still not ranked, right? They didn't put him in there this
I think
week.
so.
No.
I haven't turned the
They
page
lost.
on my computer, so yeah. They lost again?
No.
I
They
saw
just
them.
have a loss.
Okay, they got
Yep.
killed by Stanford.
We'll be talking about them this week because they're playing the ranked team,
Who are they playing?
UNLV.
Oh. Well, look.
UNLV is actually that's an interesting situation because they still won.
They're better. They're a better team without that bitch.
No one had
that's
a worse week
that's
than
probably
Sluka.
not true.
Didn't they lose their running back, too?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They put up like 59.
It's hilarious. I'm now rooting for UNLV for that exact reason. Now, did they not pay the kids? They didn't, and they deserve what they get. But holy shit, what an interesting story, man.
Fresno State is a solid team, and they fucking murdered them.
In principle, I support the students because they got fucked over by a shady university.
Yes.
100%.
Yep.
But in reality, I think it's funny that they're still winning.
I do too.
It's hilarious to me,
And
so
that
whatever.
college football rank them too is even
Also-
another fuck you of like.
Well, they have to.
Well, they hate NIL, so they were like, all right, great. let's do
NIL
it.
is just a really dumb process anyway. It's a third party. This university just pay the students like directly instead of having to go through all these like back channels.
Hey, Delco, it's more than a third party, dude. And most of these meetings I have, you're meeting with people who own like tire shops and shit.
It's
where you're
so
like,
dumb.
Oh, it's nuts.
And
It's absolutely nuts.
Maybe this dude didn't live up to like his obligations, right? Like you have to go to the tire shop and do like a 3-hour meet and greet in order to get your $100,000.
No, he got paid. He said he only got paid 3,000 of the 100,000.
I'm saying maybe he didn't go to that goddamn meet and greet.
Maybe he didn't. He didn't sell those fucking tires on TV. Next up, Iowa State, 20-0 over Houston. It's Iowa State. I don't really care. Same with Oklahoma State and Kansas State. These are all those three teams are all the same to me. And you can put them in a bag and have them play each other every single week in a row, and I'd never know who wins out of the three of those teams. What happened to Gordon this year? What happened to Ollie Gordon, though? Serious question.
He was never good. I mean, he's fine.
He almost won the Heisman last year.
Yeah, but those were again. You're talking shit about these teams he's playing against, right?
Yeah. But last year they had Texas and Oklahoma in there. So we had two good teams in the Big 10 last year. I mean, the Big 12 last
He's
year.
fine. It's Oklahoma State. He's a running back. It's what happens. It's not. It's just
There's nobody left there. So what do you have? 15 carries for 76 yards? Yeesh. That Giddens kid had 187 yards for K-State.
K-State's good though.
Good for him, dude. I like Case. I like the quarterback there. You don't like him, but he's good. And he's going to be good in the future.
No one said I didn't like. I just said he was overrated because they forced out Will Howard for him to go, for him to play.
That's today's current college football. If you don't either play these kids or pay these kids, they're going to fucking leave. I don't think Texas and the
think-
rest of the world understand how lucky they are that Arch actually stayed.
By the way,
it is a fucking miracle.
It's the same thing that's happening in the NFL right now. You draft a quarterback in
Yep.
the first round, you've got to start him immediately.
Immediately.
Otherwise, it's the fans will and the G everybody loses their fucking mind.
Yeah.
It's never ever been like that in the NFL ever.
Even in New England right now, the fans are so pissed that they drafted Drake May and they're not starting him.
Well, that's for every fucking CJ Stroud and Jaden Daniels, there's 80 other dudes who just fucking suck. And maybe it ruins their career.
Check it out. The best quarterback, some of the best quarterbacks in the league right now had to sit.
Yeah.
Patrick
Look,
Mahomes.
if you look at most of them of all time have had to sit, and they're not doing it.
Did Brian Leaf start his first year?
I think he saw
And he just got
time.
crushed into fucking nothing.
Manning started his first year too, though. And he was
Manning
horrible
did.
his
Manning was
first
horrible.
year.
Yeah, he was really
First year.
bad, but he's
Troy Aikman was terrible.
Manning, you can't really fucking Aikman is the outlier because Manning came from Arch Manning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had it up here the whole time. Even his retarded brother had it up here the whole time.
Squishy face.
He knew he could win.
Also, as far as
Aikman is the one who had no real pedigree to speak of and came in and fucking sucked bad in the first year. But then he had Jimmy Johnson, right?
Yep.
So
They turned it on, man.
And as far as like someone like Will Howard goes, if you're Kansas State and Will Howard gets an offer from Ohio State or something and then comes back to you and is like, I want this, and you have an NIL pool, right? You have a finite amount of money.
Yep.
And you have Avery Johnson behind him. What are you better off spending the money on? Will Howard, who's fine?
No.
Who's
Offensive
fine,
lineman.
or
Great.
offensive lineman.
yeah, 100%.
Great question. So that actually happened at Ohio State this year where it came down to Cam Ward. Or are you budgeting this like a real NFL team? They could not afford Cam Ward. Otherwise, they couldn't get Caleb Downs and everybody else.
Well, you spent like $5 million on a running back.
Right. But that's worth it. So in a system where Judkins and Henderson split time, I think that's more worth it than a quarterback, where all you really need with Ohio State's a game manager. And these conversations are going on behind the scenes right now at every university. And Cam Ward, by the way, will flip it. Not only just Ohio State, but back to Florida State. Florida State could not afford him. They ended up with Ukulele. It's going to probably cost the coach his job. And then Ukulele is going to go to UCF next year.
Well,
You had
here's-
the game manager. You had Kyle McCord.
No, we did not. He's a terrible quarterback.
He did not lose that Michigan game.
He sure did. He threw a pick at the end.
It wasn't on him.
It was
Go back
definitely
and
on him.
go watch that. Like
I've already
replay.
seen it. Did he get his arm hit? Yes. But he threw a pick at the beginning of the game that gave Michigan the ball on the 3-yard line, and they scored. Without that touchdown, they lose the fucking game.
Also, for as far as Florida State goes, their problem isn't that isn't that they couldn't get a better quarterback in the transfer market.
Their problem is their entire team is transferred.
Yeah, they didn't recruit anybody. It's not if you have to shop for a quarterback, you're already.
They
like
did
half
the
fucked.
exact opposite of what Dabo did at Clemson, where they went all recruits and no transfers. Florida State did the exact opposite.
Yeah, that is a pull in case of emergency lever.
It's like building a dream team. Like, the Eagles Vince Young team, the fucking team he called the dream team. There's all these free agents. It's a bad move.
But let's ask, if Cam Ward is the quarterback of Florida State, what's their record right now?
I still don't think they're very good.
Did you watch? I mean, I watched those games. Their lines are getting mauled.
Yeah.
Their line's getting mauled, but he can run around, and he's crazy talented.
You can only run around so much, man. Like when Georgia Tech is making your line look like a fucking flag football line,
But that's what I think about
DJ,
Miami right now.
I mean, if there's a person that can run around, it's DJ, right?
But he can't throw.
Yeah, but he can run.
Could he? He's never done it at any of the 3 schools he's been at. So
He had a really good year at Oregon State.
he did not. He was playing in a
Either
shitty
way,
conference.
26-5.
If your line's not there, then you're fucked. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So maybe they're 2-2.
I don't know. It depends on how great Cam Ward. Cam Ward is great so far, and he's taken a shitty Miami team to number 6 in the nation. So it's hard to know right now. Again, all this will shake out, like you said earlier. To
I
be
don't
honest
think Miami's
with you,
shitty though. Cristobal can recruit.
he can recruit, but he can't coach. And it was evident last year when he took he wouldn't take the knee against Georgia
Yeah,
Tech.
he just had to take a knee.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
So yeah, it's him. He's a good recruiter.
It's a pretty big black stain.
Next up is Oklahoma against Auburn. Oklahoma came back in this game and ended up pulling it out at the end at Auburn. I don't know who the new kid is at quarterback.
Don't worry,
I guess they'll stick with him.
He stinks.
Michael Hawkins Jr. is his name.
Yeah, he still stinks. Look at it. I mean, look, it was first game, and that's fine. He was a 3-star, but I don't put much stock in that because you are how you play or whatever. But I mean, they scored 20 points all game against a mediocre Auburn defense. They won on a pick 6.
I'm surprised that Hugh Freeze hasn't turned this around at Auburn. He's a great coach.
2, right?
Yeah, it's year 2, but last year it looked like they were turning on towards the end, and now they're fucking 2-3 already.
You gotta give these guys time. Most of these
Is
guys.
Hugh Freeze a good coach?
I think he is. I think he's good. I think he'll always pull out one shocker. BYU against Baylor. BYU won on the road. We got all of these.
BYU's got surprise. He might be the only Polynesian coach in all of college football to include Hawaii.
He wears the wreath.
Yeah, he might be the only one.
He wears the wreath.
Which is not surprising because there's a lot of Mermans in Hawaii.
Is that why they always get those kids?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
They did a lot of Merman missions there, Colombia,
Polynesia.
Brazil.
Yeah,
No
but
shit.
their quarterback is Jewish.
Yeah, that's almost like I think we should call somebody about that.
BYU.
Yeah, you got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Wait, can you call news about the Jews just Jews?
Can you call Iran? They're dropping bombs.
Call
he
me
says.
maybe. He's a good coach though,
Yeah.
and BYU's a good football team.
They're always a good program.
They're 5-0. They've been good for 35 years. Back to Steve Young. I mean, Steve Young was there.
And don't look now, but BYU is probably. I mean, I don't see a loss on their schedule. They're probably going to be favored until maybe at UCF. If not that, definitely at Utah would be their first underdog game.
Yeah, but even then, if Rising's not back yet, I'm not sure they don't win that game.
I know.
And if they went out here
Holy
and then,
War?
if they went out and even lose in the Big 12 championship, they're probably in the playoff.
I want BYU to win out and hit that 4 seed and just have fun. I think that would be a blast.
It's going to be very. I mean, they're going to have the Holy War at Utah. You're going to have the Jewish quarterback. There's going to be a whole lot of things.
In Palestine.
Well, he's going to bring his Jewish powers though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
they probably won't be able to stop him.
Nope.
And honestly, don't look now at BYU, but they've got 2 very good wins on their schedule. At SMU is a
All
good
right,
fucking win.
I will now hand it to you that SMU could maybe win the ACC.
Goddamn right they can.
No.
K-State at beating the shit out of K-State. They have 2. BYU is probably in terms of amount of good wins top 10 in the country. How many teams have better wins than at SMU and versus K-State?
SMU is getting hot too. They're probably going to knock off Louisville this week.
Louisville didn't impress me last week, so I don't know.
I think Louisville is talented but undisciplined, so they're going to probably win that game, right? They're going to lose games here and there because they're undisciplined, but they're fast as fuck over there.
Yeah. Arkansas against A&M.
I don't care about this. I don't want to hear about
me
this.
neither. But I will say this: Arkansas will knock off someone this year. I don't know who, but they're going to knock off somebody big, and it's going to shock people. And then Boise. Look, you know the rules on the show. Always bet on Boise. They smashed again. This fucking running back, god damn, 259 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He's gonna be a problem for Oregon this week. But let's get to the fucking ads first.
Absolutely. We're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Bob told you at the top of the show, if you're an old school homie, they're going to pop in some bonuses. I got some here in my accounts, and I didn't know. That was a fun little surprise. So thank you, MyBookie.com. You can bet on Heisman Trophy winners right now. Bob, pull up those odds for Heisman Trophy on MyBookie. I'm curious what Hunter moved up to after last week, because that would be a really cool one. I know we chatted about it on a Monday morning recap with Woodson, but I can't remember anybody else.
Oh, we have a new leader.
Who we got?
Milroe is your
Dude, smash
front runner.
Cam Ward at 430, plus 430.
Why?
Yeah, because Milroe's got to play an SEC schedule, and fucking Cam Ward gets to play against ACC teams. He's going to throw for 4 touchdowns every game.
I don't know. Ashton Genty at plus 870 still pretty good.
I think Genty's going to win, to be honest.
I think they're going to look at BYU's schedule and fuck them. When's the last time a running back won? I'm trying to think.
One of the Bama
Herschel
guys.
Walker, maybe.
No.
How's Herschel doing?
No, it was more recent, like Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Henry won
That was 10 years
in
ago.
2015.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Oh.
It's been a while. But yeah, everything's on there, man. The fucking live casinos are amazing on there. These guys host the live blackjack show on Friday night. You're playing against real dealers. So you're not playing against avatars or computers or any of that shit. MyBookie's the best in the biz. Every single college and NFL game has more than 300 props. Live lines are elite. I've never had a fucking problem with this site, and a huge fan. So go to MyBookie.com, use that promo code Drinkin' Bros to double that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Next up, we got DrinkinBrosTickets.com. If you want tickets for any of these games, even let's take Friday night's game at Oregon. Michigan State at Oregon, great game, Friday nights, $17, dude. That's it. Go fucking have some booze, enjoy your life, and watch a college football game in person. NFL, rodeos, concerts, all of it. We got it on there, man, and it rocks. I'm looking at that other Friday night game, Syracuse at UNLV, $40 for that if you want to go. Have fun out there in UNLV.
great game.
It sure is, dude, and it's at Allegiant Stadium. So if you want to see that stadium for the first time ever, when the Raiders play in there, it doesn't matter how good, bad their team is. Their tickets are like $250 a piece. Go check out the stadium, and it's $40, and you can enjoy it and tell us how it is.
Go to the
We've
strip
gone
after?
inside. Yeah, dude. Live your fucking life. Last but not least, we got hardafseltzer.com right now. Promo code Drinkin' Bros is going to get you 20% off. That'll knock it down to $40 for 24 cans. So you get an entire case, 24 cans for $40 on hardafseltzer.com. New flavors are out across the country. These are the last of the old ones. Grab them while you can. And we've never had a promo code before. Got a brand new shipping company because of everybody's investments at WeFunder.com/hardafseltzer. And they rock, dude. So they allowed us to put in fucking promo codes and shit. And it's fucking cheap, dude. So grab a case while you can. Friday night, we got a double header here. Michigan State at Oregon. This is going to be a 6 o'clock game in Oregon. Sun should still be up there. This is Oregon minus 24. D'Anthony, who you got?
Michigan State plus 24.
Yep. I got them as well. It's plus 24. This is the same spread as Ohio State. And Ohio State didn't have a problem covering. However, I genuinely think this team is fucking better than they have been in the past. I think they cover on the points, but I think Oregon wins this game.
Yeah, I think Lynch, Adams, and Carter for Michigan, pretty good running back tandem. And Oregon's not been great against the run so far this year. So I just feel like 24 is a lot.
It's a lot of points on Friday night there. Next up, you got Syracuse at UNLV. Kyle McCord. 14 touchdowns this year, 5 interceptions.
Well, now he's going to play a real team.
He's already played real team. They have a ranked win this year.
Against
Georgia Tech.
Is Georgia Tech ranked?
Yeah, well, they were at the time.
They were
25th.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing 25 UNLV right now.
I just,
UNLV minus 7, which is shocking to me.
yeah, that's too many points. I'll probably take Syracuse with the points here, 7 plus 7. But I think this will be a good and close game.
I buy this up a half a point, and I'll take Syracuse only because it's a fun story at UNLV. You get a backup quarterback, backup running back now playing.
There's playoff implications on this game.
Yeah, and I just they're not going to cover 7. So buy this up a half a point. I think it's a 1-score game either way, and that half a point will save you. The hook will bring you back. That's what John Popper says. And John Popper is never wrong, ever. Next up, you got UCLA at Penn State. Oof, Penn State minus 28 there. 56 degrees at Beaver Stadium, dude.
Absolutely.
Man.
Under no conditions am I giving Penn State 28 points.
No.
They cannot score. They will win this game by 2 touchdowns.
I don't know if they want to blow people out either.
I mean,
they don't have that, like, killer instinct.
I'm taking UCLA plus 28.
Okay.
Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't even bet this game, but I'm that confident in Penn State's offense being bad.
So I was going to say, I don't bet this in real life. For the show, though, yes, UCLA on this one plus the 28. Penn State just doesn't blow anybody out. So, yeah, their offense is still struggling. Drew Allar is, 8 touchdowns and 1 interception. That's fine, but he's only got 864 yards total. You're looking at 200 yards a game there, for Christ's sakes. Next up, you got Missouri at Texas A&M. Texas A&M minus 2. D'Anthony, who you got?
I'm probably going to take A&M in that.
Yep.
I like Missouri. College Station's weird.
Money line Missouri, baby. A&M can't score. Our defense is fucking great.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's going to be a low-scoring game. Under 48.5 is probably their smartest bet here. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I think I'll do that.
For me, struggled against Boston College a little bit, struggled against Vanderbilt. 11 a.m. game there up in Texas A&M.
11 a.m. game is an advantage for Missouri because it means the crowd's going to be sleepier. But, you want to talk about struggling. Struggled versus Arkansas. Struggled versus fucking Bowling Green. Looked like dog shit against Notre Dame.
Is Bowling Green good?
I have it's ex-Missouri quarterback running the show there, so maybe. I have no faith in A&M, dude. Missouri money line all fucking day. We are taking this game.
I don't have any faith in either of these teams, but I'm going to take the home because it's minus 2, and I think it'll be a field goal game.
I think the under is probably safe.
At 48.5? Yeah.
I mean, Texas A&M sucks on offense, and Missouri is a top 10 defense.
Is the weather getting down to 79 in Texas A&M? No.
Well, it's
let me clutch my pearls.
That's at 11 a.m. It'll be fucking 100 degrees by fucking.
I'm sure 2 o'clock. Yeah. Give me A&M by a field goal, and this starts Missouri's downfall. They get a rough go the rest of the year here with
Currently
Alabama.
the longest winning streak in college football.
Who?
Your Missouri Tigers.
Okay. I mean, Ohio State didn't play anybody in the bowl game, but sure. Next up.
Neither did Missouri, baby.
Yeah, you played all your starters, Bob.
No, we were missing multiple draft picks, not on the field.
Who?
Enos Rakestra, and I can't remember off the top of my head. There were multiple draft picks out. And we had more draft picks than you.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah. No one. It was Ohio State. They didn't play.
We didn't care.
Their quarterback transferred before the game.
Well, no, you forced the quarterback out before the game. That's not my problem.
His dad asked the coach if he was going to be the starter next year, and you can't do that unless you're in 2nd grade. That's the fucking rules. Marvin Harrison Jr. playing that game? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What? Oh, did Marvin Harrison Jr. play in that game?
Yeah, did he play in that game?
No, neither did our cornerback who would have been covering him.
Yeah, and how's he doing?
He was drafted in the 2nd round.
How's Marvin Harrison doing?
I don't know. He's on a shitty Cardinals team.
Yeah, he's got 5 touchdowns already on a shitty Cardinals team.
Sweet.
Yeah. Bob, that's crazy. If you it was 3-0. Ohio State was up too in the 4th quarter.
Before losing?
3-0 to our 2nd string team, dude.
No, your first string defense was all out there, but you did lose that game, right?
Who was? The defense all sat. They all sat.
No.
Everybody was out. JTT, everybody was out. All of them. Jack Sawyer, everybody sat out the game.
Okay.
Everybody sat out the game.
Man, I'm excited for this Iowa game this week.
I am too.
Wait, you're skipping over
some games.
SMU Louisville.
Yeah, SMU Louisville here.
That's the most important game this week.
Sure is. You guys love SMU.
Game.
It's actually a fun
You
game.
love Louisville.
Here's why this is the most important game this week, because it ends SMU bullshit. I don't want to hear about them for the rest of the year after this.
It's kind of fun, though. They're going to score points.
Yeah,
I would take the over.
I think I'm taking the over in this at 56.5. I think this is like a 34-30 game or some shit
at
like that.
At least. Smash this over. Also, if you don't like this game, you don't like college football. Straight up. This is a fun-ass game.
I mean, this is like watching, I don't even know, this is like watching the Cardinals and the fucking Redskins play this week.
Yeah.
Points. Let's fucking watch that shit.
Points, and that's it. And I'm with you on the over there. Who's going to win this game? Who knows? I thought Louisville was going to win last week, and
they're not disciplined, but they're going to score points. I mean, they don't turn the ball over much.
Yeah. No, look,
So
the
they're gonna
quarterback's got
score.
one fucking interception on the year. Next up, Iowa at Ohio State. Ohio State minus 20.5. Spread has jumped up 1.5 here. Get it while you can, while it's under 21. This is a 3-score game. Iowa's got a great defense. They do every single year, but they have no offense. And
They
that
do
seems to
have
be the theme.
they have an extremely good running back. I don't know if a one-dimensional offense is going to be enough against Ohio State, though.
I don't think so. I don't know why they can't get talent there.
If they could just throw the ball a little bit, like they usually have pretty decent tight ends. If they could throw the ball a little bit
Sleeping
with
on
this running
Iowa.
back, this running back is good that
You're
they have right
sleeping
now.
on
Yeah.
Iowa. They're putting up points.
Coming off a bye, too. 31 against Minnesota, 38. They did play bad against Iowa State, but Iowa State's fucking good.
Yeah.
This Iowa team is,
Put up 31 against
but
Minnesota.
it's
Don't
in
care.
Columbus. If this was in Iowa,
Dude,
I would say, look the
McNamara
fuck
is
out.
going to fucking tear you guys up for 78 yards passing.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're give me the
He's going to be
Iowa
7 for
Hawkeye-
13
Exactly.
with
the
78
Iowa-
yards.
78 yards, dude. I can't do
Give me
this.
the Iowa Hawkeyes
No.
12 to 9.
I'm excited that the offense has to play a real defense, and that's about it in this game.
Is this the week you finally start hating Will Howard the same way you hated McCord and C.J. Stroud?
No, so Will Howard, I already know who he is. Like, he's going to give you one bad play a game, and that's it. The rest of it, he's been great. It's been a blast to watch. Look,
Against who?
exactly. But here's the issue. You don't need Will Howard this year. You got the 2 best running backs in the nation. So it doesn't come down to that.
I was going to punch you in the face.
Sure.
JT's the best running back in the nation.
It depends. If you put him on a Big Ten or an SEC
You
team,
could put
is
that
he?
you could put that guy in the NFL right now. He'd be a
First
good
off,
running
Genty's
back.
already
See.
gashed a Big Ten team this year.
Who?
Oregon.
And an ACC team this year, right?
But is Oregon's got a terrible run defense.
They're-
we
they're-
said that for the entire year.
Who the one guy gashed them. The rest of the fucking games, they haven't given up that many yards.
Well, I mean,
rushing.
they're giving up like 70 to 90 yards against shit teams, which is not great. But who knows?
Oregon State runs the ball. They only gave up like 110 yards to
if
Oregon
you're giving
State.
if you're giving up less than 100 yards a game, period,
That's
you're
really
a good
fucking
rush
good in
defense.
college.
But
Like,
Oregon
period.
State lost their quarterback. Who was it last year?
It was DJ.
Oh, it
They
was.
also
It was
lost-
DJ UCLA. But he was great last year.
He was.
He was great.
But
So
Oregon
why didn't he
runs the
stay?
ball. It's also because their coach left. Because Jonathan Smith went to Michigan
So
State.
what,
'Cause
dude?
He's doing such an awesome job at Michigan State, right?
Leave him, dude. Leave him. But you don't need the coach. If you're that great of a quarterback, it's all you, brother. Cam Moore didn't need it. He didn't give a fuck.
Also, the conference left Oregon State.
Yeah,
they didn't.
that's
They're,
true.
they're the
Well,
Pac-2.
no, it's going to be the Pac 80 by the time they cannibalize all the other fucking
dude.
Mountain West, Sun Belt, everybody. They're going to get everybody.
They just asked for my son's team.
Speaking of, this is an aside, but did you see Gonzaga's joining the Big 12 for basketball?
No, all of it.
Pac-12, I thought.
Or,
He's there-
no,
No.
Big 12.
Pac-12.
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 Confirmed
wait, is it Pac-12? I thought
Pac-12.
Pac-12, and they're going to go for all of it. So it was going to be
Well,
originally basketball, and now
Gonzaga only does basketball.
I was
dude.
unaware they had a football team.
Do they really have a football team?
I think so.
I don't think
No,
so. I don't think they do.
It said all sports in the article, so they don't have a.
Well, all the
they don't
sports
have
that
a-
they play, probably.
What
right?
else do they do?
They have not had a football team since 1941.
Oh boy!
But they do all the other stuff. They have baseball. They have, every other non-revenue sport.
Wait,
you
but
can imagine.
who's in the Pac-12 for basketball? So San Diego State, Colorado State, Utah State, Fresno State, Boise State, Washington State, Oregon State.
Anybody with a state at the end, they're going after.
Ohio
and I think
State.
that's smart.
I think Ohio State should move to the Pac-12.
I wish they would. That'd be great every year. Next up, we got Auburn at Georgia. Georgia minus 24.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, how does Georgia respond after that game?
Auburn sucks. I mean, Georgia's also going to be looking to rebound, I think, on this one. And it's an interesting position to be in because they're going to be rebounding from a loss, but also the second half of that game they played great. So they're carrying success over into this game. They probably blow Auburn out pretty big.
Yeah, well, they should, and they need to at this point to keep going because they are going to look at strength of schedule. And then Georgia's got, Texas coming up here in, 2 weeks?
I'll probably buy half a point, though, 23.5. 24 is spooky.
Yeah.
I kind of love, this line won't be out till the day of the game usually, but an Auburn team under. because that Georgia defense is gonna be fucking.
Can Auburn
pissed.
throw? That's the question.
It comes out on Friday,
No,
right?
They can't. They've already switched quarterbacks this year.
Yeah. Then if they can't throw, then yes, I would agree with you there.
Don't those come out on Friday? Those
Friday.
Saturday.
Props?
Yeah. So team under, I don't think Auburn might.
Next is Ole Miss at South Carolina. It's Ole Miss -9. I've got South Carolina +9.
I do too. I think. Look, they should have beat. Who the fuck was that 2 weeks ago?
LSU.
Yes,
LSU,
they
yeah.
should have won that goddamn game.
Jobbed.
I think they'll step it up this week, and I think Lane is checked out. He's got the offer from Florida.
Yeah.
Their quarterback's a nerd, though.
I think he's checked out.
Take the over.
52.5.
Yeah, probably. Darts
Sure.
looked really good this year, and so is Parrish.
Yeah. He had a bad game last week, but the over in this game looks safe, and I'm with you. I got South Carolina plus the 9 points in this one.
South Carolina scored 50, 33, 31 against Kentucky, who they beat the shit out of.
Yeah. I mean they're just fucking slinging it over there.
Well, if you are stuck at like number 8 in the SEC, why not? Like I like the way they play. They're fun to watch, and I think they win this game. And this begins.
Oh, you say win this game? You think you're going to go on money line South Carolina?
I think I'm going to sprinkle like a hunch or 2 hunch on it.
I don't think it's a bad bet.
No.
I think they could do it.
I wouldn't be shocked if they won this game, but I'm definitely taking +9 at home.
Yes.
Like fuck
I'm
off.
going to take the 9 and I'll take the points. I did the same thing with Colorado last week, and both of those hit. Next up, we got Indiana at Northwestern.
No.
Indiana is ranked. They're -14 in this game.
We're not doing
Say
this.
hello to the team that could keep Penn State out of the playoff.
Which one?
Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana's
Indiana's coach is the former James Madison coach,
and they're dumping in points right now.
They're absolutely dumping in points. Their schedule is almost as soft as Penn State.
They're going to be 9-0 going into
Michigan State.
Yeah.
One of their games. No, Michigan, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see. I mean, we've already seen what happens with Penn State when another team scores a bunch early. Like if their defense isn't on point from the first snap, they have a really hard time catching up against fucking Bowling Green. They had a hard time catching up with them. Indiana's probably better than BG.
Well, Indiana does not play Penn State. What I'm saying
They
is,
play
is
Michigan
that they would
and
be
Ohio State.
And Ohio
above.
State.
They could end up above Penn State.
Oh, I see.
They
what
could
you're
have
saying.
one
Order.
conference loss, probably Ohio State. But
I think they'll lose to Michigan too. The defense is too good.
I think they could beat Michigan. It's at Indiana.
That is not. Have you been there? I have. It is not a tough place to play.
They're going to be hyped though on 9-0.
It's like a 20,000 seat stadium.
I was hyped on 9/11.
Same.
Well, maybe they'll be
Same
hyped on
here.
that too.
Yeah. This one I don't bet. I'll stay away from.
You
this
know
one.
why? It's because I never forget.
You never do.
Alabama at Vanderbilt. -23 even at Vanderbilt seems low to me.
Give me Vanderbilt money line. All right. They put it all in against Georgia. They're going to sleep on Vandy.
Who does Alabama play next week? So they're South Carolina at home next week. No, they're not getting this. Alabama -23.
Oof. This schedule for Bama too, man. They got South Carolina,
And then fucking
Tennessee,
at
Missouri,
Tennessee too. Yeah, it's rough.
LSU. Oklahoma,
They're gonna earn it this
Auburn.
year. It's not gonna be an Alabama year where they get by beating D2 teams and shit. They're gonna earn it this year.
Yep. Stack the box there and keep a spy on Milroe. You could pull it off. Next up, you got Clemson at Florida State. No DJ Ukulele, guys. All right, so please. Just keep that in mind when you're placing this bet. This is Clemson -14.5.
Here's the easiest bet you'll ever make in your life. It's not going to pay out very much, but put as much money as you want on it. Clemson money line, because the ACC will never let them lose this game. I don't give a fuck what a nuke could go off at midfield, and there's no way they lose this game based on what they did in Miami last week with those refs.
Yeah,
there's no fucking way.
No,
points
they need
are
it.
fine.
They need it.
The points are probably
fine.
too, yeah.
All of it's fine. They need it. Yeah, it's Clemson.
I'm not betting this game though. It's gross.
Why not? Clemson is going to fucking murder.
They're
Because for
They're
two
gonna
reasons,
Florida
Bob.
State.
One, I don't need the money, and two, I don't even want to have to think about this.
It's
That's why.
free money.
This is oh my god, dude. This is.
Domino's
they're
gonna
going-
I know it is.
Fuck.
Do you know why I don't bet this game? Is because I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch it.
Physically, just do not want to watch this.
You don't
game.
have to. You
I like
in
to.
a week.
You said it and you forget it.
Every single bet that I make, I typically watch.
I know.
want to watch it.
I know myself. I know that if I have money on it, I'm
I
going
will
to try to
watch
check
it.
in.
Yes, dude.
And
Yes.
that's my Saturday, dude. I can't do it.
I know.
I'm just not going to watch Brock Glenn. All right?
I don't even know who that is.
That's their quarterback for Florida State.
You'll never hear his name again after today.
No. Oh, fuck me, dude. Next up, you got Utah State at Boise State. Always bet on Boise at -27. That's that little cock tease to get you down there under 28. I think they're loading up on Genty to win the Heisman here. He gets another 5 touchdowns this week.
Yeah,
Let's go,
like,
Boise.
Normally in Mountain West, a 27-point spread I wouldn't even look at, but that running back is so fucking good. And Utah State is not prepared. Genty will have 250 yards in this game.
Yes. He'll have 1,000
I would
after this
definitely.
game.
So typically on player props, especially rushing yards, the prop is fairly conservative. But that usually doesn't drop till day of or like Friday. Also,
Yeah.
I would check on that because I would take any Genty yards.
But it's not like he's getting an obscene amount of carries. He's getting like 20 carries a game.
I know. So that's what makes what he's doing so special here.
He's averaging 10 yards a fucking carry.
And he's got
man.
13 touchdowns in week 5.
Every time you hand him the ball, it's a first down.
It's awesome, dude. I love Boise State. You know me. I've always loved Boise on this show. I root for him every single week. Give me Boise -27. The next team I also love, Tennessee. Love Tennessee. 13.5 against Arkansas. At Arkansas, who you got?
Man, Arkansas is going to jump up and bite somebody.
Someone. They're gonna get one person this year. Is it Tennessee?
How is Heupel against these teams?
I don't know. This is uncharted waters right now.
He usually crushes people he's supposed to crush, right?
Yeah, but Arkansas's not.
They're
bad.
feisty. They beat Auburn, not bad. They should have beaten Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I would say if
It's
you
a weird team, man, and it's at Arkansas, and Arkansas fans
It's at Arkansas
are
at
nuts,
night.
dude.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Arkansas at night.
Even
It's
for a 3-2 team, they will show out for this, and it'll be nuts.
I think I'm going to sprinkle Arkansas plus. I'll probably take plus 14. I'll bump it up a half a point.
They're just
Have a
so undisciplined. Like, they're so infuriating to watch because they'll get a stop on 3rd down, and then a guy will just rip someone's helmet off.
They'll lose
It'll
it
be a
at the end of the
personal
game
foul.
for sure. I think Tennessee wins this game, but I think it's closer than the 14 points or the 13.5.
I would say the most predictable thing you could maybe do is the over/under, but even then it's so hard to read because Tennessee's played one real defense. NC State, it's a P5 or P4 team anyway. But Oklahoma's got a good defense. They didn't really score on them that much.
But to be fair, if we reorganize the conferences right now, NC State would not be included in the P4.
No.
They are terrible.
They're a terrible
right?
team, man.
So, I mean, probably 59.5, that seems like bait to me anyways.
I think, so Arkansas's defense has had some stinkers, 39 to Oklahoma State. I get it was overtime, but still, I think it was 31 to Oklahoma State in regulation.
Yeah.
Stinks.
They're probably going to be up for this game, though.
Yeah, it's a night game.
I think this is a tough game to read because both teams are kind of unpredictable.
It's a night game there. It's an environment that's rough, man, and they're amped. Arkansas is amped for this game. So watch out for this one. Check back in on Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook. Next one is Michigan at Washington. Now, the spread on this is Washington -2.5 here, and the over-under is 41.5.
Will Rogers hasn't thrown an interception this year. He's got 10 touchdowns, no interceptions against Rutgers, Northwestern, Washington State,
Rutgers.
EMU, and Weber. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what any of that means.
Weber State.
I don't know what any of that means. Michigan's got good running back. Mullings and what's his name? Edwards.
Donovan Edwards.
Yeah. The defense is pretty good. I mean, 41.5 for a college game is crazy.
Nuts. And it's simply because of the defense of Michigan. Look, give me Michigan in this, and they're going to muck up this game. This is going to be a fucking 20-17 game. This 41.5 is probably right where it should be.
I mean, if Michigan loses this game,
Washington's played
They
two.
can't lose this game, and that's why I think I'm taking Michigan. They cannot lose this game. Give me Michigan plus the points. It's a night game there. Is this on fucking Peacock? God damn it, dude.
I think it's just on NBC.
I hope so. It says Peacock on mine, but I had to watch that Ohio State night game on Peacock last week. It was the worst experience of my life.
how are the announcers on?
So terrible that you and I. So a bunch of listeners hit us up and they were like, "You guys should have just hosted the goddamn game because it doesn't matter. It's joke land over there anyways." They had internet issues on the field with their own cameras. I kept thinking it was my television, so I went to Twitter to see what it was, and it was Peacock as a network not used to streaming live games on a weekly basis, and it matters. That's a job. We've talked about this on other shows. That is a job that is hard to do, and they don't have the best people doing it there. It's a terrible product on Peacock. But give me Michigan plus the points because they cannot lose this game if they want to compete this year and make the playoffs. And that's the only reason why. Who you got in this one?
I don't know. Probably won't bet that.
It's a tough game. It's a tough game to pick. I'm just simply going with gut on this one in Michigan and their defense.
I mean, you think they're going to win the game, so I'll probably sprinkle the Michigan money line
and it's just playing this fucking team, man, where you don't going up against a team that doesn't throw the ball at all. Because again, it's not the fucking who's their quarterback. It's Orgy. He's not great. He's going to throw for 60 yards. It's going to be
but they're not going to turn the ball over.
No.
Neither is Washington, by the way.
I know.
So this game might be a lot of 3 and outs.
I think the spread is correct. I think the over/under is correct in this game. And at the end, ultimately, I think Michigan wins by 1 score. Next up, we got USC at Minnesota. This is USC -8. Who you got?
Minnesota's a weird place to play. I don't know about USC. I never know about USC.
Me neither. On a week-to-week basis.
I probably won't bet this.
And they're 11. They're 11 in the nation right now.
Like they beat Wisconsin last week. Wisconsin's good, but not on the road. I mean, Wisconsin's not good, but they can be good, but not on the road ever. At Minnesota, that's a spook. I don't know. I probably won't bet this.
They're getting a full Big Ten experience.
They are. They're going to Minnesota at night. The only thing is looking at the weather.
It's 71 degrees. Yeah.
That is literally the weather in Los Angeles.
If this game was in November, then I would take Minnesota.
I agree. Yeah. I would have too.
Probably. But then again, the spread would probably be USC -1 or 2 if the weather was bad. Right?
I would lay the points. Minnesota's not very good.
Yeah, also, I kind of think USC, I mean, I get sketched out by these teams, and it's happened twice in the last 2 weeks, teams that have won the game on pick sixes, right? Because that's not sustainable. That's a fluky way to win. Michigan did it against USC. Oklahoma did it against Auburn. That's not you can't replicate that. You can't replicate a pick six.
Minnesota also gave up 31 points to Iowa.
They did, man. I think USC wins. Is it 8? I can see 7. Buying it down a point now is fucking really expensive, not just on MyBookie, but everywhere in Vegas right now. I can't buy down a point anymore. I used to a couple years ago, but everybody's hip to that, so you can't do it. Give me Minnesota +8. I think USC wins by 7. I think they're going to win by 1 point. Spread-wise. But I'm with you of not betting this. Like, I understand why you'd sit this out. There's a lot of these weird games this week. Like Baylor versus Iowa State, 11.5 there. What are you doing that?
All day Iowa State.
I don't want to think about this.
I don't either, but
I'll take the under probably at 44.5. I don't think Baylor scores much. I know for a fact that Iowa State's not going to score much.
But they scored 31 against Colorado. They scored 28 against BYU. I don't believe in Iowa State. Fuck it. You give me Baylor money line in this game.
That's crazy. Baylor
at home?
Baylor, they're not at home. They're at Iowa State.
Oh, they're at Iowa State.
Ames, yeah, I don't. Yeah. Baylor money line is throwing your money away.
I misread that. Fuck. Give me the 11.5 then for Baylor. I'll take the 11.5 with Baylor. Fuck. If this was at Baylor, I would have gone money line. I misread that. I apologize. But I'll take the 11.5 in Baylor. They've kept most of these games close, and they're not terrible. I don't believe in Iowa State.
They did not keep BYU close. I mean, they did. They came back at the end, but if you're not giving Minnesota credit for, or even
it's not
Georgia
that.
Credit
hey,
for,
Bob, it's not that. I'm looking at simply the point spread on this one. I'd like just from a gambling perspective. Yeah. Give me the 11.5 because of that reason. I don't believe in either of these teams in real life. I'm just talking totally from a purely gambling perspective. Give me this 11.5. That's it.
I don't want to. I don't want the stink of this on me.
I understand. It stinks.
Now this next one is also a curious game. Miami at Cal. Now obviously Miami's going to win this game.
Cal money line.
Yeah. Cam Ward's going to throw for 4 touchdowns just like he does in every fucking game. But Miami hasn't traveled much this year. They've gone to Muncie, Indiana to play Ball State, but every other game they played has been in either Florida or Virginia Tech.
This is going to be an extremely late game for Miami.
It's a late game. It is.
They lost. They lost that game last week.
It's east to west. I think I don't think they're in danger of losing this game, but 10's too much.
I'm Cal money line. Give me Cal in this one.
That's crazy. Cal's not good.
Cal's fine.
Cal's fine. I could see that. Yeah, Cal could knock off Miami.
I think so too. It's going to be really fucking late, man. And this is, like you said, this is the first time with all this conference realignment that a top-ranked team in the top 10 is going to have to travel all the way west and then play a really late game at night.
But it's better. It's better than Cal going to Miami.
I agree.
Like if this situation was reversed, there'd be no question.
Yes,
doing here.
correct. I would take Miami.
I don't know how much this is actually going to affect Miami. We'll see. Cam Ward is good. He's very good.
He is.
So
he is very
we'll
good. I just think this is going to be a weird late game.
I mean, I'm going to watch this game because there's not going to be anything else on.
No, I don't think there's any UFC, right?
Oh yeah, there is that actually. There
Who
is
is
UFC
it?
this weekend.
Who is it this weekend?
It is.
I feel like the last 2 weeks there's
It's
been
Pereira and Roundtree.
Oh shit! Yeah, this is the oldest card in UFC history.
Yeah, it's Pereira, Roundtree. Juliana Pena is fighting Pennington.
Yeah.
Jose Aldo's fighting fucking.
So I'll be up late anyways.
Kevin Holland's
I'll watch
fighting
this because I'll be up late anyway. So yeah, give me fucking Cal in this.
This is actually Wonder Boy's fighting on the undercard on the prelim.
It's the oldest card in the history of the UFC, by the way.
Why are they doing that?
I know that's why they build it. I don't know.
AARP day or something?
I don't know if it was to get viewers or whatever, but I like it. I like all these guys, and I'm going to watch it, and then therefore I'll put money on this and flip back and forth. I can have a nice little Saturday night when the kids are sleeping, wife is sleeping, all that stuff, because it's going to be late. So yeah, let's fucking go, dude. Let's go. Give me Cal on this one. Let's go. You taking Miami?
Yeah, I'll take Miami. Minus 9.5, though.
Okay. What about you guys? Cal's liberal. That's why I'm asking. What do you got?
Cal is the national champion of memes so far this
Yeah,
year.
they are.
Are they really?
Why don't you pull it up, Rob?
Yeah.
They got good memes over there at Cal?
Pretty good trolls
No shit.
for the internet. Yeah.
Somebody working their social media that's good?
Yeah.
It's their barstool.
Really?
Yeah. Their Barstool's pretty good.
Oh. Got it. That's crazy.
This is what they posted after beating Florida State.
Oh, wow. Look at that, dude. You just lost to the woke agenda. All in on Cal. Let's go. That's all I needed to see. You guys confirmed it. Yes, I was already going to bet a money line anyways. Now I'm all in.
That's pretty funny,
You just did it. I just put $250 on this game. Congratulations. You just did that for me. Thank you.
Libby boys.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate you tuning in, kids. All right, we're going to be live in 15 minutes on Drinkin' Bros podcast. So switch on over to that channel for the debate. I wish we could bet on that. Can you?
What would you even bet?
Vance?
No, I mean, but what would you bet? Who decides what? You can't bet that shit.
They actually do. They have it every.
No,
every
I
year.
know, but it's like who?
There's props on the presidential debate. There was props.
There
I
was.
don't know that there's a like.
There might be props like how many times they say what, or if they say this, or what their color tie is, or some bullshit like that. But I don't care about any of that. I don't want to hear about
How
it.
many times do you think the word tampon is used?
0.
No, I think it's 2. I think he'll bring it up with the bathroom shit.
I think that's 2 online. I wouldn't do that.
I mean,
by
no,
chance.
it's working. It's working really well in Texas right now. All Red is getting his fucking shit pushed in with his girls' bathroom stuff right
Yes.
now. I mean,
It's
they
just-
lost like 3 points in the polls in 1 week.
I
for that.
predict this is going to be way more civil than you hope it to be.
I don't know.
No.
I think Vance and Walls are both very emotional people.
I think it'll be civil. I'm with you. I think it'll be civil. I do. But
Two military dudes, they're gonna fucking get in each other's ass.
But Walls already leaked that he was nervous,
And
he
they're
goes,
two pokes,
dude, I
too.
got to go against a lawyer.
Don't they keep saying like something's going to break with Walls soon?
What do you mean?
I don't know. People just keep saying Walls. Like so there's some really bad stuff coming out.
Yeah, with the CC, there's a lot of ties he has with the CCP. We'll talk about it on Fake News on Thursday. Actually,
Yes, we will. We sure will.
I've got a full report on that from a very good independent journalist.
And then no debates on this on my bookie?
No.
Okay. Perfect. Iran, no doubt, will be a topic, I'm sure. But we'll talk about that in 15 minutes before we get into the debate. It will be picture in picture, so you can just watch it with us, hang with us, have some hard AF seltzer with us. We'd love to see you over there. In the meantime, rate this show a 5-star and leave a quick review on iTunes. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away at that point. For Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is College Football Week 6 Prediction Show.